Can I make the Pizza Hut cookie cake wife-friendly? In 2018, my wife had to give up gluten and dairy and wheat because her metabolism was being rude, and I guess you could say she was canceled for that, and she still cries herself to sleep over that. Sometimes, maybe. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have mentioned that. Anyways, this meant she had to lose out on a lot of her favorite treats. As much as I enjoy seeing her cry to sleep, it's been a fun personal mission of mine to try and recreate some of her guilty pleasures, which is mainly Oreos, which I've yet to create, but I have created numerous other dishes that she's loved, and her metabolism didn't cancel her on that. My mission today, the Pizza Hut cookie cake. Now, I've never tried this before, but it's been a treat that my wife used to indulge in when she was a teenager, so I've heard great things. As per her request, I don't have it in my presence as, and I quote her, I would fucking destroy that and lose 2 days of my life. And this is in no way of me trying to promote you to go buy this, because that would go against everything I'm doing here and would likely stop your heart and body at the same time. First and foremost, we will preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. While that's going, here is my ingredient list. Monkfruit Sweetener, a sugar-free sweetener that actually tastes like sugar and doesn't have a weird aftertaste. I'm looking at you, stevia. Almond flour. Baking powder. Vanilla extract, even the trashy kind is permitted. Remember, we want this to emulate the trashiness of the cookie cake. A dairy-free butter, such as margarine. We use the olive oil blend. An egg. Cashew milk, which is just the tears of cashews. Xanthan gum, a powder that magically turns any liquid into goo or more chewy. Also known as gobbledygook in our household, but in powder form, it's strictly xanthan gum, strictly business. Sugar-free dark chocolate. You can use any type of sugar-free chocolate chip, really, but my wife only likes dark things. Doesn't explain why she's into me, though. Anyways, you could probably find it on Amazon or the Sahara Desert if that's more your climate. I mean, I guess there's a reason why the Sahara Desert sounds like dessert. Side note, where do you stand on chocolate chips versus chunks? I used to participate in the great cookie war of early internet days of the chips versus chunks debate. Some people like the homogeneous texture of the chip, while some are into the more heterogeneous feeling of a chunk. For this dish, it doesn't really matter since it's all going to melt in the oven anyways. But I felt it necessary to state that in my current 2021 position on the chip versus chunk war is that I am a neutral party and I do not care, nor do I tell the difference. I use these chunks because they're what's in my pantry and low-carb ingredients are pricey, so you gotta make what you got count. And a pinch of salt. Start by microwaving your butter until it's completely melted. Make sure not to make it too hot or else you'll scramble the eggs. I put it in for, 20 seconds at a time, just until it's completely melted. Just keep stirring it every time you take it out. Now you could pour the steaming hot butter into your batter if you like your eggs and your cookies scrambled. I'm not here to judge, just to make my wife happy. Stir it around until it's liquefied. Now you mix it with the monk fruit, the egg, and the vanilla extract. Now into the same bowl, go ahead and add your dry ingredients, your almond flour, your xanthan gum, a teensy tiny bit of salt, and the baking powder. Give all of that a nice stir until just combined. Once that's done, drop in your desired amount of chocolate chips. I personally like to do a lot as I'm trying to emulate that gooey texture of the cookie cake from before. Give this all a mixy mix and now it's ready to be molded. You can take your baking dish of any type. Really, I like to use this circular pie, but you can honestly just take this batter and mold it into individual cookies if you want. Putting it into the shape of a pie just allows you to pretend it's a fancy pants dish that can be eaten with a fork and knife, but hey, I'm not judging. I like to line my pie shell with melted butter to prevent sticking. The reason I don't like using parchment paper is because I like butter, or margarine, whatever. Once it's all greased, sploosh it into the pie shell and pop it in the oven for 10 minutes. Once you pull it out, it's going to look pretty dull, but that's okay. The purpose of this portion is to really cook the egg to eatable temperature and melt the chocolate chips. This next portion, we're actually going to broil the pie for a few minutes. This will allow us to get some browning to emulate the look of the Pizza Hut cookie cake. I like to keep an eye on this as we can burn it very easily and it will ruin all of your effort and time and money, so some cautiousness never hurt. Once that's done, take it out of the oven and let it cool for about 15 minutes. This will let the chocolate chips settle and spread out evenly within the baked goods. Okay, now it's time for the taste test.
I think you should plate it way better, Nolan.
It's falling apart, though.
But like, how is that a YouTube video then?
All right. Well, there you have it. We both have beating hearts, and she's able to continue eating a treat she adores. Let me know if you make this and what your thoughts on it are. Did I do a bad job? Does this suck? Actually, don't tell me. I don't take criticism well. All right.